Hello, welcome back. And I'm back here with Dan again. How are you, Dan?
I'm all right, thank you. Have you been up to much today?
Today, what have I done today? Finished off with an install with Ollie, actually. Yeah, in,
Good.
in York. Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
always
Went
nice to
went
hear.
quite well. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
How about
going
you?
all right?
Yeah, it's good. I think he's really pleased to get another project over the line and complete. It was an interesting one actually. There was a Vaillant heat pump on it as
Really?
well, and it was another
So what were you doing? Were you doing the solar and the battery with it?
solar and battery. Yeah, 18 panels. 10 kilowatt SIG with 16 kilowatt hours of battery.
Oh, amazing. So
Okay, no gateway.
that's all up and generating now.
It is, yeah. It's all on, and the SIG charger as well, actually, which I managed to do without cocking up the cables entry to it.
I'm yet to do one, so we've got to build a new build with 5 of them on. So we'll see what happens when that turns up.
Watch this space on my Instagram. I'll put a little reel out on how to cable it for you.
Oh, that's fine. Then I'll follow the
Just for you.
Mike how-to guide on that one.
Yeah. Probably best not to, but yeah, don't read the manual. It's not worth it. Doesn't tell you anything useful.
I can't read anyway, so we'll be fine with that one.
Oh, yeah. Dan, we are going to talk about G99 applications, DNOs, some problems around,
That is my
especially with
experience
your
currently.
local. I don't want to name them in case we get sued, but your local DNO seems to be a bit of a troublemaker, shall we say?
I live in the north, and the company looks after the power grid. I'll let you fill the blanks in. They are becoming increasingly difficult to deal with. Their lead times are now getting to the point of being prohibitive, is the word I'm going to use, to business. And it is actually, I haven't told you this yet, Mike, but it is having a knock-on effect with our consumer code.
Yeah. So they're exceeding the 45 days, are they?
I think they're now into about 45 weeks, in all honesty.
Really? Wow.
And I think it's gotten worse since we've been using, I don't know about yourself, and I don't know what other people are using, but ENA Connect Direct. Oh, you'd think a portal run by the ENA would be good for doing G99s.
I actually spoke to ENA Connect at Installer Show. Did you see they were there? Installer
No,
Show.
I didn't, and I'd
I
quite
actually had
like
a
to.
chat with them. Yeah. I don't know why. Maybe I didn't have the ammunition with me to bring up this certain DNO,
Okay.
but
The one that operates in the
I had a
north?
good chat with them. Hey, say again.
The one that operates in the north.
Yeah, that one that operates in the north. I did have a chat with them, and they did say that the main DNOs are pretty much all on board, apart from some that are still a bit paper-based and email-based. They like to default back to the email.
Head protocols.
Yeah,
And their
and then
systems.
is it IDNOs? Is that the correct term? The sub
Yeah, so
DNOs?
I think Francesca last week mentioned an IDNO being GTC.
Oh, gee,
Or
yes, that's right. Yes, I remember now.
GTC and ESP utilities, they're two
Yeah,
IDNOs that I'm
I
aware
think
of.
I've dealt with. Well,
Right, okay, no dealt with them. You find GTC and ESP on a lot of new build estates actually.
yes, yeah, same. This was energy assets of the new build estate. I think they said to me that it's very difficult for them to integrate because there's so many. So they have to go through a bit of a manual process. But it seems like these smaller DNOs are quicker at responding than the main DNOs.
So I've dealt with GTC, ESP, and the energy provider or DNO that operates in the north through ENA Connect Direct a lot. And GTC operate in a much better way than Northern Power Grid. You know, I've said it. They seem to work a lot better through ENA Connect Direct than the MPG, but the knock-on effect that it is having to my business is now getting detrimental. And I've mentioned it to yourself numerous occasions. I've mentioned it to Mark numerous occasions, and I think myself is going to reappear on the Renewables podcast. I think we'll give them guys a shout out to discuss that with Mark and Sam at some point and some of the issues that we do have around it.
Yeah, because I believe it's affecting both of them. To be honest, I know I did a joint project with Sam up towards Barnard Castle, and that was Northern Power Grid, and they literally
It will be.
strung it out to the death. Really, I mean, yeah. I've heard that Northern Power Grid, their systems are still very manual, and they're not. Yeah, they're not using the technology they're literally relying
So
on people to do them.
yeah, from my dealings with it, it is still very email based. We fill in the portal, upload documents to the ENA Connect Direct portal, and then they are not retrieving them documents out of the portal. Sometimes not even sure of what we're installing, even though it is put into the portal. So yeah, they are very manual based. They're very much PDF copies of letters and sending letters and invoices. Actually, they seem to have restarted again. It used to be up to £660 plus VAT when doing a G99.
Really?
That disappeared for a bit. That now seems to have reappeared with a value of £990 up to
Oh, okay.
£990 plus VAT. Yet to see them actually bill me any of that, but when we're putting G99s in, not expecting any cost, I'm not morally inclined to turn around to my client and go, oh, by the way, Northern Power are now charging for that G99. That cost
Yeah,
I'm
well,
going to
that's
have
a
to
bit of a
swallow.
risk actually, because at the point you put the DNO application in, you haven't necessarily got a signed contract, have you, with a
I
customer?
will have a signed contract. I
You
won't
would
put them
have
in
a
until
signed,
I've had a signed contract, just to
right,
protect myself
to
from that.
safeguard.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I'm
that's
not
probably
prepared to
your
put.
experience, is it? I don't think everyone would do that, would they?
Possibly so. I mean, possibly so. It's just I'm not prepared to put any admin time because we're a relatively small team in the office, being me and
Yeah,
him who sits across the
the
other
team
side of
name.
this desk. I'm not prepared to put the admin time in. Maybe to my own detriment, don't know. But I'm not prepared to put the admin time, and it's maybe also tied in with our lead times are currently quite good. We're booked out quite far in advance. I'm not prepared to put the admin time in until I have got pen on paper.
Yeah, well, actually, does that not raise another issue though? If you've got a contract signed with the customer, and then your DNO application takes longer than 45 days,
Yeah.
where do you stand with the consumer code?
So I have had HIES on this week to tell me that some of our HIES deposit registrations have now expired.
Really?
So they are saying then deposit registration. So people that don't know, when you pay a deposit to a renewables company, be it ourselves, be it anybody else, deposit that you pay should be insured, and it is insured
Yes.
up to £5,000. So it is the first 20% or £5,000, 25%, sorry, or £5,000, depending on where the value is. And it is insured for 45 days, just over 6 weeks, I think is what it actually is. Now, when
Right.
DNOs are taking 3 months, we can't install that system. If you're having a
Yeah.
5 kilowatt inverter or a 6 kilowatt inverter, as many of them now are, we can't install that system until we get that DNO back. Well, your deposit as a customer is only insured for so long, and then it expires. We have to then re-register it and repay, or speak to, well, in our case, HIES, or in other people's cases, it may be RECC, and say, look, it's not due to us. I mean, there could be other issues, not just DNOs. I mean, that one that me and you did not so long ago, that actually ended up being
Delayed by the
180
building works,
days.
wasn't it?
It's
Yeah.
transpired 180 days from the signing of the contract to completion of works. So that was
That's
well
a long time
expired.
to hold the stock as well.
It was. I held that stock for that time. I
Did you?
had
Wow.
it all sat here, but that was due to a party wall agreement because they were re-roofing and they needed to then drop a party wall. But when DNOs are taking 3 months to make a decision on it, that has a knock-on effect into our insurance-backed guarantees, our deposit registrations, and then also just trust. Now, trust is a massive thing for a company. If you are trusting my company and the lads that I employ, being myself, my wife, and Jason, and hopefully in the very not too distant future, an apprentice or subcontractors that we use, like yourself. If you're trusting of us to bring them into your home, then it's a massive thing. It's also potentially a life savings that you're investing. So when DNOs are taking months to reply, and I can't give customers, yep, we've heard this, yes, we've heard that.
Yeah.
That's a detrimental
It's a
effect, in my
reassurance.
opinion.
Yeah.
Trust is worth its weight in gold, and for DNOs to be
Massively.
possibly eating into that, I don't think it's fair on us installers.
Yeah. Yeah. And it sounds like the delays, and it's not for anything really that complex. I mean, most of these applications go through okay in the end.
And you might get an export limit on it if it's somewhere a little bit out in the sticks, or there's a lot of generation, say it's in a housing estate
Around
and
it.
there's a lot of generation on that, you might get an export limit placed on it. But once they do seem to pick it up, then they do seem to sort of move on it a little bit, but it's getting it initially picked up by someone to go across somebody's desk, I think, is where the northern
That does
power
say to me that it's a very manual process, and that
I think so. And
they're
it's
not using
when we,
technology to.
yeah, I don't know about you or other installers, but I see the same names come up. In fact, I've got some of the area engineers' personal
Yeah.
mobile numbers now. I've been doing it that long. It's the same names that are coming up on the emails, the Matthews, the Simons, or the Freds. It's the same people that are dealing with this massive volume of 99s. And maybe DNOs do need to look at that and invest into Connect Direct and sort of integrate more
Yeah,
into
yeah, use the technology that's supposed to be. Yeah, I mean, ENA is supposed to be the group of the DNOs coming together, isn't it? It's
Right,
supposed to be it.
that's their governing body per se, isn't it? Energy Network
Yeah.
Association. So maybe they need to lean into that portal a little bit more, or put more staff on and more training, and try and get these moving quicker if we are to move towards a renewable future.
Can I wind you up a bit? The
Easily you click on DNO.
G99s I've put in with National Grid, it's usually I've had them back in under an hour. As long as I submit all the correct paperwork. Yeah, bye. Yeah, we'll end that one here. Yeah, and the delays on those have usually been the time of me going back to check the emails. So if I got everything there and instantly answered them, I think 20 minutes you could have a G99 back
Yeah. So
on some of
are
them.
they through Connect Direct?
Connect, I've always submitted them through Connect Direct.
So I've submitted them with SSE before because we are national. We do cover up and down the country. Just predominantly 90% of what we do is here up in the northeast. And I have had them back. I've had instant approvals before from UK Power Networks or SSE. I've through the portal, because you upload a photo of you give it all the information, you upload a photo of
That's
the
right.
head
Yeah.
and the meter, and it will say in 1 to 2 minutes, we'll give you your decision.
Check in.
I have never had it give me a Northern Power one instantaneously. It's always escalated to Northern Power.
Yeah. It does sort of insinuate that, they're not on the same technology. Yeah.
I mean, even when we do get the people that deal with Connect Direct on a daily basis will know what I'm talking about, but you get approved and then you can go back and you can upload your commissioning documents. We
Yes.
never get even the approved or the ability to upload commissioning documents to Northern Power, so they are well outside of that portal.
Yeah. Yeah, and even I think it was energy assets I did one for recently, that was approved through the portal, and that's an IDNO.
Well, this is the one that I don't understand. So we've done GTC, IDNOs, applications through the portal for new builds, and we've got them back within around 3 weeks.
Yeah,
However,
which is within guideline.
yeah, exactly. However, that IDNO stops at the entrance to that new build estate, and then it connects to Northern Power Grid.
Yeah.
So why can an IDNO, which is essentially connected to Northern Power Grid's transformers and greater infrastructure outside of that new build estate, why can they give me an answer in 3 weeks, but Northern Power Grid can't give me an answer within 3 months?
Is that because the IDNO actually has the full specifications and they have some parameters they're allowed to go to? Maybe do they almost invest in that network or that infrastructure of, say, Northern Power Grid, and say, well, we've actually got this much capacity we can add to that network, and then obviously the IDNO controls their
Into our
local
connection, I
transformers.
suppose.
Yeah. So
Potentially, I don't know.
Yeah.
Or are they just
Yeah.
getting preferential treatment?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean, you would assume they'd have a decent mobile number for someone there to get the answers they need. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's we've myself and Ollie have actually just got a project coming in. I think that's Sheffield based, and we were actually saying, I hope that's not Northern Power Grid. I really hope
It'll
that's
be
not
Northern
Northern
Power
Power
Grid.
Grid. Of course it
If
is.
the
Yeah,
M-PAN starts with 15 or 19, it's Northern Power Grid.
yeah. True to form, it was. I was kind of hoping. Well, it's kind of the Chesterfield end of Sheffield. I was like, oh, it could be National Grid.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't want to check, to be fair. I left it to Ollie. Just said, I'm
I've got to
hoping,
be
but
honest,
yeah.
I jump for joy. I squeak with joy these days when we get a 3.68.
Then that is such a shame, because
It is.
the market's moved on from the 3.68. I mean, six kilowatts should probably be the default now. Should it
It
not?
needs
I mean,
5 like
I'm
it is
not a
in
network
Ireland.
engineer.
So Ireland's slightly different, I believe, to mainland England. That's going to trigger
Right.
people. I think they've got a 5 kilowatt limit before they need to seek permission to connect.
Here we see, yeah. I mean, that makes a lot more sense. And to be honest, you can see why manufacturers now are defaulting to a 5 kilowatt inverter.
Virtual
You know,
standard. I
yeah,
mean, we now do heat pumps, and your notification for heat pumps can also be done through Connect Direct. Now, the way a heat pump notification works is if the total load of the building remains under 60 amps for your load calcs, it is a notification. Very similar to a G98 in the solar world. If your total load of the building goes over 68, then you need to seek permission first. Now, I did a notification to Northern Power Grid through Connect Direct the other week, chased it, and they're like,
yeah,
no, you need to pay us, we need to go out to site, we need to do assessments. I'm like, no, it's a notification. The total load of the building is in the 50 amp range. No, you're
yeah.
wrong. 13 hours later, I got the email back going, yep, you're right. It's a notification.
So they don't even know what they're doing themselves, by the sounds of it. Yeah. I mean, where's that going to improve? I mean, are they investing in that? Are they?
Is this where
Yeah.
AI comes into
Well,
it?
it certainly needs it, doesn't it? I mean, that could take out a lot of the effort, and that could get things moving through at the reasonable time frame. This 45 days if they're exceeding that regularly. But how are they getting around that without getting a penalty?
So the way that they're dealing it with us is we are submitting that thing through the portal, ENA Connect Direct. And what we are now doing is if Kim submits it on a Tuesday, she works at the minute a Tuesday and a Thursday in the office. So anything she submits on a Tuesday, she rings Northern Power on a Thursday. Anything she submits on a Thursday, she rings them the following Tuesday. And that
Sound like
seems
you
to
might have
get
this
them
down
going.
to a T. Is
Yeah,
it? Yeah.
yeah. If the day starts with T, she's ringing Northern Power. And that seems to get them to pick it up and start to deal with it a little bit.
Deal with it.
However, what
Yeah.
they are turning around and doing, and I think is a little bit naughty on their behalf, is they are asking for additional information. So one that they really
Right.
like to, we're an installer. We're not a massive installer, but Northern Power must see DMH, Electrical and Renewable, and Dan come across their desk enough. They are going, we want a letter of authority every
Surely
time.
that basic you'll send them a letter of authority because you've done enough of these to know that you need that. Surely.
Well, we give them our MCS certificate number,
Yeah.
NIC numbers. It's just kind of a copy and a paste that we give them. So if they want to check the
Yeah. Yeah.
company, we do. It's there.
Mm.
We've got the accreditations. No, we want a letter of authority. No, we want a single line diagram. At one point, we were wanting boundary drawings of the property. This one really annoys
Yeah.
me, and I know Mark has had the same issue with this.
Right.
So they were wanting boundary drawings of the property with an X to mark the meter location.
To be fair, I send those by default anyway, but that's just old school, I think. I think that's
Why?
just how you use.
Because it's not required under a G.
I think I got asked on my first one for
And you're
it,
now just sending them as default.
and I just do it by default because I think, well, they're going to ask me for that, so I'll just
But
do it.
I was in the same camp as you, in all honesty. And I
Yeah.
was going either to the customer, and actually there's a story behind it. So I was either going to the customer and saying, look, have you got a boundary drawing? Can I have a copy of it? Or I was going into the HM land registry, paying £3 a go to get a boundary drawing of that property, which you can do. So if I wanted a
Yes.
boundary
Yeah.
property
Yeah.
of
Done
your
that.
drawing, I can go get one. And then I was marking it and sending it. Spoke to Mark about it, and he was like, no, I've refused to do that. So the last couple, I have turned round and said, no, I do not need to provide a boundary drawing. You go find it yourself. I'm not paying for something that you should have
So
the
really,
information.
they're trying to get you to do their work.
So we had one a couple of weeks ago. Just before I'd spoke to Mark, they got, can we have a boundary drawing for it? Okay. Goes to my customer. Hi, Mike. Can I get a boundary drawing for your property if you happen to have one? Do you know what he emailed me back? The Northern Power boundary drawing with a meter location on it.
Really? Northern Power.
On a piece of paper, PDF, with Northern Power stamped across the middle of it.
No
So it
way.
was
Where
in
did you
what?
get that from?
Northern Power when they did the meter connection to the new build 6
Where
years
did you have
ago,
that from?
and he still had it. Northern Power couldn't be bothered to look into
To
their
look for
own
it.
system for that address and postcode and pull out the boundary drawing that they
Well,
supplied with the meter location when they supplied the meter.
you couldn't write that, could you? You
No,
really couldn't write that.
no, and
Yeah,
that for me was the final straw with boundary drawings for them.
yeah,
The
yeah. Well,
last
to be
couple that I've
fair, yeah.
refused to offer boundary drawings, they've taken you get as a Google Maps image.
Well, yeah. So that's what I actually send is the Google Maps image, and then I just draw a red
Yeah.
box around it, and then I just put an X for the meter point location.
Yeah. So I've done that in the past, and they've actually refused it and said, no, we want a proper boundary drawing.
Okay, yeah, yeah. I've never had it refused, but I mean, no more would be National Grid, and they probably do just refer to their own boundary drawings, probably.
Well, shouldn't
Anyway,
they? I mean, I've had Northern Power when we did our farm project a number of years ago. Oh, we don't know where the transformer is for that. Have you got any
where
photos
the
of the area?
transformer. Okay,
I'm
it's a
stood at
bit
the
worrying.
meter. I've stood at the meter. I can see the transformer. It's pole mounted. It's about 10 meters over there.
Where
But no, we
the
haven't
yeah.
got any of that on our drawings.
I suppose though, then if all this data is archived in files, it's a lot of effort to go looking for them. So they
And
probably
this is
haven't
it.
got this
And this is it.
digitalized. Yep.
And I think that is my biggest gripe currently with DNOs is they are putting so much of that admin. Now, we are already admin heavy being renewable installers.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
trying to push so
absolutely.
much of that admin back onto us.
Mm.
And you were asking how they're getting around the 45-day thing. What they seem to be doing with us is going, no, we haven't had all the information we've requested. So if they haven't had a letter of authority, if they haven't had a boundary drawing, if they haven't had a single line drawing, until they have that, they won't start the
Yeah.
45-day timer.
And in those cases, have you actually sent that, or
Yeah, because I can go back into the portal and I can go, look, it was there. The beauty of the
yeah,
portal is it's date and time
it's
stamped,
it's it's all logged. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and then they seem to pick up on it. So, but if you say haven't put a boundary drawing in the portal, they'll leave it 3 weeks, request one, and then start the clock. But I've already lost 3 weeks.
yeah, yeah. And that's 3 weeks of trust with the customer that really excited about getting their system. Hot in the moment of wanting it, and then it's kind of that delay can take the excitement out of it for them because it's dragging on.
Luckily, so far, I've had this conversation with our DNO. Luckily, so far, I have never had anyone cancel on me, but I have had it threatened. No,
Well, the thing is as well, though, I mean, it's how you relay this to the customer because if they don't understand the process, they might threaten that, but actually they're going to have the same problem round again with
if they cancelled with me and they turned around tomorrow and went to you, it's still the same DNO, it's still the same
yeah,
MPAN number. That 45-day clock is going to start again from 0. So they've actually gone back a step.
yeah.
Or, like you
Unless I
say,
put 3.68 in, and then
well, this is it.
I could put
Or
it in
if
tomorrow.
put it tomorrow. Or if installers are just installing 5s or 6s or 7s and then waiting for, which we know happens. We know it happens.
Mm,
I've
yeah,
seen it plenty of times now where an installer has fitted a 5 and then turned around and gone, oh yeah, we're waiting for the G99 back on that. But that's not how it should work. You should have that G99 before that is
yeah. But
connected.
Dan, it's fine. You can just export limit it to 3.68. It's fine, isn't it?
You've been reading solar and storage Facebook pages too much.
Yeah, yeah. Let me just
How it
make it
works.
clear: it is not fine to do that.
It is completely, it's actually, I
You can
believe,
inverter limit certain inverters, like the Tesla Powerwall 3 that we talked about last time. You can invert limit that 0.68 and do a
that is
G98.
locked. And that is locked
Yeah,
even into
yeah.
your
You're
house,
not
not
changing
just
that.
out to the grid.
No, this is it. And yeah, well, actually, is that actually a good angle then? Actually, for the Tesla Powerwall 3, you could sell the customer and go, you know what, we'll put it in, but you might only be ever limited to 3.68 if the DNO don't get the fingers out. But it shouldn't be like that, should it?
Don't know where you'd stand with that one. Because you would have
You
to do your
sold the system based on
G99
it.
saying that it's got
Yeah.
generation on it already that we are removing
Yeah.
before you could
Yeah.
then
But it's the
be
same piece
import.
of equipment.
Yeah, exactly. So
You've opened another can of worms with the supply
yeah,
of the
and then
equipment for
you've
the
also
MCS.
got the issues with your contract, haven't you? That if you are offering them a 5 kilowatt inverter, but just for 3 months it's going to be a 3.68. I think there's then issues around your contract and bill of sales and what you're actually selling a customer. So I think
But
you're
these
getting,
things, you actually, like you say, on the Facebook groups, you actually hear about these sort of
you do
things
hear about
going
it.
on, and yeah,
You
and
do hear about
the DNOs aren't really helping themselves in that case because people are going, well, sod waiting for the DNO, I'm just going to put it in anyway.
it. Yeah, and it
Yeah,
happens. And I sit down with
yeah,
customers, and the one thing I say to every single customer is, please, we will not fit it. I will guarantee you, I will not fit a single thing until I get that G99 back. And they go, well, they've not said that. And I'm like, please make sure you have a G99 in place before you
yeah,
allow them to fit it. Well,
yeah,
we haven't been
because
told that's
chances
not the
are,
case. That's not the case that they've told us. They've told us they can fit it and wait for it. They are wrong.
yeah, yeah, it's absolutely wrong. You know,
And
and I'm very much again,
I'm,
again,
you might be able to correct me on this, but I actually believe it's a criminal offence.
I believe it is because you're connecting equipment to the network that may not be
No,
safe for that network. You may damage that network. You may cause an incident.
and it's your meter, it's your connection. You as a customer, I believe, are liable for that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I think in conclusion of that, the DNOs, when they're causing these delays, are not actually helping themselves. Really, I think we can go into a whole deep dive in, problems with applications, and actually maybe we could do a recording of actually the best practices on submitting the G99s, so you can improve your chances of getting them approved quickly.
Yeah, I think definitely so. I think there could be a YouTube video in it, or like I say, another podcast in it, or a recording in it. I know one of the things, and we've mentioned it before on here, and is Apprentice 1-to-1. Are currently going through getting their accreditation to be able to offer courses and training, not only for electrical,
Brilliant.
but I believe also for renewables.
Yeah.
Yep. And I'm going to go down and offer some of my time and my help to that in stuff like mounting panels onto the roofs and sort of the practical aspects that Jamie can't teach. But I also want to sit down with people and teach them the ways of doing design, so reg design, and also on submitting the G9.
Yeah, I think this is a massive part of it. All these ancillary items, I think Francesca was talking about it before, that there's so much admin and so much other stuff you've got to do. It's, renewables, actually, it sounds great to be able to offer it, but there's
Yeah,
a lot more work to it. There's all
yeah.
these things that you've got to learn, you know,
I think that is where a lot of value will come from the apprentice 1-to-1 training,
yeah,
is people like yourself
it's the
or
real
me
hands-on,
or
yeah,
Sam being able to go down and offer, look, this is what you need to be completing for a G99. This is what you need to, we all know that you should be completing them, but no one really knows where to find the information of them. I mean, if you're not
this is it.
currently
Even,
installing,
yeah, when I did the solar course, the G99s weren't something I'd ever done at that point.
there'll have
And
been
they just,
G59s, will
no, it wasn't that long ago. But
there? The
they
83.
literally just said, yeah, all they touched on with that was, yeah, just submit your G9. I know. Well, how do you do that?
How do
Well,
you do
just
that?
submit it. Yeah.
100%.
And I think there's still people now I hear, yeah, they ask me, where do I go to submit a G99? What do I do? And actually
I
with the
mean,
Connect Direct it's really actually streamlined that process, you
should
know.
have streamlined that process.
For a lot of DNOs, it seems to have. It just seems very unfortunate you're in an area where they
That
seem to
hasn't.
be getting one of the worst reputations for it.
I mean, you can even do your EV charger notifications through it. So if people are doing EV charge notifications, long-winded and emailing it to the DNO, you can
You
do
know.
your
Yeah,
EV charging notifications through it as well.
that's it. So if this obviously isn't a live recording, but just drop a comment. How have you found your local DNO? Just put a comment on that. Have they been
Who they
good? Have
are
they
as
been bad?
well.
Yeah, yeah. Mention who they are, because I think that feedback and being able to take that back to the DNOs may just help improve the process.
Massively so. And like I say, if you've spoke to someone from ENA, next time that we're together at one of these shows, I'd like to bump into them also and see if we can get a bit more to the bottom
I
of why
suspect
it's.
they may be back at Solar and Storage Live, and I think I did actually take the chap's email address that I spoke to, so I might just drop him an email actually and see if they're there. But they were very receptive to the feedback. They were actually saying they were at installer show to get this feedback from installers about
Yeah,
how
I
things
mean,
are going.
I suppose, like you say, one thing we are learning, it's or has kind of opened my eyes in the conversation we've had here is just how different DNOs operate, and maybe getting them all to gel together a little bit better will streamline the
Yeah,
process.
to almost
Especially
jump
if we
out of
are
their
there.
own system. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
especially
yeah, jump
like
out of their own systems and integrate.
into one uniform thing, and especially now that we're bringing heat pumps into the situation, that they have to go through the
Yeah,
same rigmarole, which is slightly annoying because a 12 kilowatt Vaillant heat pump is a 23 amp load, but an electric
yeah.
shower is 32 amps. So
You still have to notify a heat pump, not an electric shower.
correct.
Yeah, that's why is that because they're saying the amount of time it's used over an electric shower? Why?
I don't know, but at the same time, a heat pump is a modulated load, so it's not drawing its maximum demand all the time.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this is it. Yeah.
But it could also be maybe I'm going to answer my own question here. The more I now think about it while talking about it, is it also to do with the frequencies that a heat pump compressor and motor can inject onto the grid, maybe?
Yeah. So I mean, that is a inductive load rather than a resistive load.
You know when we talk around about the
Yeah.
B-type RCDs,
Yeah.
is that a reason that pumps have got to be notified to the grid? I suspect it actually more likely is, rather than the total load of the thing.
Yeah.
Again, if you know the answer to that one, you can drop it in the
Yeah.
comments.
Drop that in the comments. Yeah, it would be interesting to learn a bit more about that. But yeah, no, thanks again, Dan. Good to see you again. Hopefully, I think the next time I'll see you, I believe, will be solar and storage
In
live.
person, it will be, yes.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned it briefly actually last time. You are on a stand for a certain manufacturer.
I
Is
am.
that
It
right?
rhymes with.
Maybe you just better just say the manufacturer's name.
No, it rhymes with. I believe I am
Solix.
on a stand for a manufacturer, so I'll be there, I believe, for 2 days with them.
Oh, that'll be good to see. So I think we'll touch on that product on another record show. We'll do that
I've
because
currently got the footage to edit for one, and
nice.
we've got one going on here on the office that's just been ordered today to go with the panels on the office, and
Oh
we've got.
wow.
Yep. So I finally decided on an inverter and battery for here.
I think that makes a lot of sense actually because it's a product you like and it's a
Yeah,
product customers can come and see.
it's also, instead of just having another dummy product in our little show demo
A
room,
real.
we can have an actual function. So it's two birds, one stone for
Mm.
me with that one. And I believe we are filming a lot of content with them, sponsored content with them regarding their 3-phase offering, which is coming to the UK very soon.
Nice. I think we can mention the name there
It's
if you
Anker.
want to mention it. Yeah,
It's Anker.
Anker SOLIX. Yeah, it's a very nice looking product to be honest, and I'm quite excited about them getting that out more. So there is the choice in the market of good products because yeah, I mean I don't want to digress too much here, but yeah, obviously we talked about last time how SIG had really taken the market by
By
storm.
Stone. Yeah.
Uh,
Big. I'm a big fan of SIG.
yeah,
I
yeah,
considered
same.
putting
Yeah,
a SIG here on the office. We do have a dummy SIG that people can come down and have a look at.
lights up actually, doesn't it?
It does light up. I've put a plug on it now, so it lights up. But yeah,
Yeah,
we're a big fan of SIG, big fan of the Power Walls, massive Solar Edge fanboy.
yeah.
My
I think
products.
it's good to have that choice in the market. I don't like to see it all one-sided, and I think that that happy balance is probably better for the manufacturers as well. It's not all or nothing,
No, exactly. I
which
think,
we were talking about last time with GivEnergy just losing their share. You
yeah,
know, they were absolutely flying and killing it, and now they seem to have just killed themselves.
yeah, they didn't move with the market, did they? Yes, we're doing very well with our 3 and 5 kilowatt inverters,
Yeah,
our battery offerings, and then when stuff started to go modular, they kind of sort of moved with their all in one. But when it came to market, you couldn't parallel them up, and then there was the issues in commissioning. I just don't think
yeah. Slow to keep up. Yeah,
they just didn't keep up with the market, and that was ultimately the issue that I think was the biggest
yeah,
problem for Give, which is a shame
yeah,
because we did fit quite a bit of Give, and we still have
yeah. You did. Yeah, you used to
a
do a
number
lot.
of Give systems that I can log into and view and look after. Actually, the hardware was brilliant. We have very, very little issues with them the ones that are fitted. Yeah, but I'd like to see GivEnergy make a resurgence to the market, and bring out some new innovation, and
It was, yeah. I
hopefully,
mean, it would be nice to support a British-led product, which
yeah, 100%,
they are and were.
100%. So the same with my energy, and like I've been saying to
Yeah.
you before, we've just done our first Sappy Glow the other day, and actually, I think it's a really good product. I think it has a really good place in the market, opposed to the original Zappy 2.1 now. Yeah, I was a bit about the Zappy Glow when we did it.
I wasn't. I think with anything, it takes me a while to trust it. Almost, it's something new. You're so used to that Zappy and the layout and how it goes together and all the features of
With
it.
your eyes shut.
Basically, yeah, yeah. And then you get a new product. The SIG charger confused me when I first went to fit that, because if you don't get that cabling spot on,
Even
yeah,
like if we're going to mention SIG, one of my biggest USPs for SIG is the ease of commission, and Anker is just as easy.
yeah. I've done one, to be fair, and I
I think it
can,
was
can vouch for that.
15,
It was super simple.
yeah,
As long
15
as long
minutes
as you get
second.
the comms cable and the internet cable the right way around, then you're laughing.
Well, you'd have to be a real dafty to do that.
Yes, 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 I would. Wasn't all me. Wasn't all on me on that. On someone else fitted the other end of the cable.
Yeah. I mean, I think for me, the other one is that I really am drawn to the Anker is the aesthetics of it. So it is also the only one that I know of that isn't a plain white box.
Do you know what I said? I think I said this to you the other week. Actually, I think, yeah. What else is there that isn't available in white?
That I could be aware of. I'm sat in front of an anthracite wall here with anthracite doors, and
Yeah,
a lot of new builds and people are painting doors and windows anthracite on the properties to then go and stick a white box, which is kind of driven by past 63-100 on the outside of your house. No matter how many spinning flashing lights it has, it's still a big white box.
yeah, yeah. And I'm a big fan of Alpha,
Yes, you are.
but
Yeah,
again, they're available in white.
yeah. And I've not done a lot of alpha. I think I've done one, but I think they're not really moving with the times either currently. I think,
They've got some new batteries coming to improve on the G3 battery storage. The
and will
app
they
is
be
really
backwards
good.
compatible?
I think they would have to be the same battery in the stack, but I can't confirm that. So you'd have to have, yeah, the same modules on that inverter. But yeah, I think, as far as I know, the inverter, everything's staying the same. It's just they're bringing out a better choice of battery modules, better
Also
sizes.
different size capacities.
Yeah, yeah. So you've got a bit of a better choice. To be honest, very good app on it. They commission really easily as well,
Yeah,
and
I mean
also I
for me,
really like the support from them. Yeah,
yeah.
they're a
I
really
mean,
good
ultimately for
team in
me
the
as
UK.
an installer, inverters live and die by tech support and the ease of commission.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not bothered if an MC4 plug's slightly hard to get plugged in, or the Wi-Fi dongle's a bit of a reach and to get your arm around. If it
No,
commissions easy,
you learn the quirks of the machine you fit, don't you? But when you need them, are they on the phone? This is, yeah, yeah, and
live and die by tech support and ease of commission for me. So that's why
absolutely,
we do
yeah,
only offer the 4.
yeah. And I think it's good to just have that core range rather than trying to delve into anything now. In fact, actually, that just reminded me. Did you see Ben at Evo? He posted a photo. I think of the SunSync install. It was a SunSync install
Yes, with
because
all the
the spider's
being
nest.
was it a self-install, that one?
Well, the customer had said, hadn't he contacted him and said, "Oh, you installed my battery for me. Can you put some off-grid circuits in it or something?" I think it confused Ben because he said, "Well, I never installed a SunSync."
Yeah,
There was
yeah, he
some
did. Yeah,
story to it.
yeah. I don't think that's one of our. No, no, actually, I installed it myself.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. There's a little bit of customer deception there for you.
yeah, yeah. But the photo of that. Wow, maybe we'll get Ben on to talk about
I
that.
think that had a G99 on it
No, that definitely wouldn't have had a G9. Oh, looking at that didn't have any certification on it.
at all.
That was the only certification that will add on it is it will be going up in flames very soon. It was horrendous.
It was. It wasn't.
horrendous.
It was a. We'll have to. In fact, we'll have to add Ben to the list of people that we'll have to try and get on as a guest.
Yeah, I would like that. I'd like to. I think Ben's got some very good stories that he could share.
He's one of the few people. I'm not going to give other people any more airtime than we already give them. Hi Sam, hi Mark. But I have a lot of time for Ben. Ben has helped me out on
He's
many a project.
Very nice guy. Yeah,
He's an absolute gentleman.
yeah, he really is. I've spoken to him a few times, and what a nice guy to talk to, and he has got a lot of time for you.
Yes, he's
He's a
very
busy
knowledgeable
person.
as well. Been in the game a long time.
Yeah,
He's just got a bit of a screw loose though, hasn't he? Because he likes jumping out of aeroplanes.
yeah. Yeah, he was. That's very often I see him on his adventures somewhere, which is it's quite cool. But yeah, he's probably not my cup of tea. But fair play to him if he can do
So
it.
we'll try and get Ben on
Yeah.
and Ben on for a chat, and we'll have to try and get Ollie on. I think
Definitely, yeah.
I need to confirm it, but I think we might be able to get Adam from Sotra Electrical on as well.
Yeah, that would be a really, really good chat. That would definitely. Yeah, Dan, thank you very much again, and yeah, thanks to everyone watching this. And yeah, please do like and subscribe. The more likes and subscribes, I think the more encouragement we'll have to do a few more of these. It did start off as just doing one record about the Lake District.
Yeah, it was one random record in my office, wasn't it, when you were up here working for me one day, and here we are 4 weeks later.
Yeah,
4 weeks on the bounce.
Yeah. So yeah. Thanks all. See you on the next one, hopefully.
See you later.
Bye.